this is edition of Vegas Ventures Off. And yes, I ventured off to Canada. That's right. I'm in Canada.
Right now I am in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is pretty far north, but it's an oil sands community where we produce a whole bunch of Canadian oil. There was I. And so when I made that shift into like actually seeing what I was capable of doing for other people, I was just dumbfounded by it. I was like, wow, you are telling me that I can go and save someone $2,500 a month?
Tuned in to visit Vegas places with Coyal, and this is edition of Vegas Ventures Off. And yes, I ventured off to Canada. That's right. I'm in Canada. And this guest with us today, you might want to grab a pen and paper again. I love bringing wisdom onto the show. Now, this is a businesswoman with the background of a Red Seal pastry chef and heavy equipment operator. How they coincide, she's going to let us know. And also a success story of how she overcame being 130 pounds overweight, 100,000 in debt, to a financially fit and healthy businesswoman who embraces every day in search of knowledge and opportunity. She's dedicated to creating wealth and education for Canadians. Welcome my guest, Alaina, Nadig, and owner of World Financial Group. Alaina, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you. Let my audience, since I'm venturing off, know exactly where you're at.
So right now I am in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is pretty far north, but it's an oil sands community where we produce a whole bunch of Canadian oil.
Cool. That's cool. All right. So now before we get started, I want to go right into your background. Now, I want to go to day one from your transitions from pastry chef to heavy equipment operator to the entrepreneur. Give us a short version of that timeline.
Okay, so it was 2010 when I got a job opportunity in Fort McMurray. I was currently living in Squamish and working in Whistler, BC. And I was a pastry chef at the time and I was loving it, but I was not able to make ends meet. And I got myself into a little bit of debt. I was like $7,000 in debt. And I was like, okay, I need to, figure out what I'm doing because obviously what I'm doing is not working. So one of my friends was like, come up to Fort Mac. There's lots of work up here. Like you're going to make way better money. It's awesome. And I was like, okay. I will put out one resume because I really don't want to move up there. And I got the job. So I ended up moving to Fort McMurray in, like I said, 2010. And then I only worked at that job for like 5 weeks because I actually did not like it at all. And then I transitioned into industrial sales. And I did that for a couple of years. And then my commissions got cut and I was getting really frustrated. And one of my customers at the time was like, hey, I'm looking for some heavy equipment operators. You don't need any experience and I'll just bring you in and train you how to do it. And I was like, okay, sounds I heard good. That. So pretty much they doubled my income overnight. And I was like, that's done. Right. What do I do? Where do I go?
Yes.
And so like most people, when you get into a position where you're making $80,000 to $100,000 a year, you go buy a new vehicle, like you spend it like you've got it. Well, I got myself into a lot of financial trouble. And then 4 months down the road, I got laid off for the first time. And that is when it all kind of just like hit me. And I was like, oh, that was dumb. Like I didn't know that was going to happen. And then I met World Financial Group. And World Financial Group took me under their wing and they were like, okay, well, we'll teach you how to do this business. And I was like, yes, please. A, I need to learn about money. And that's the focus of the company is teaching people about money. And B, I needed to get out of debt and have an income. And so I started doing this part-time. And 2 years later, I had been laid off multiple times in the oil sands. And I was just getting really sick and tired of working in a really negative work environment. Yes. Where you're alone for 12 hours a day. And it was an hour and a half to site each way. And I was just sitting there going, man, why am I doing this? And then there was so many experiences where I feared for my life, like driving at nighttime at 3:00 in the morning when you're half asleep, man, an 800-ton rock truck. It's dangerous. Terrifying.
Mm.
So I made the decision when my husband got on with the company he's with now directly. He doubled our income overnight, and he said, quit your job, go full time with your business. And you clearly love it. So
Right.
do it. And I was like, thank you. Yes, please. And so that was 2017. I was able to quit site and go full time with World Financial Group. And it was a huge blessing, a huge blessing. So 2018 rolled around. I had already started making some good changes in my life, like tracking my habits, focused on my personal development. And in 2018, I was 296 pounds in January because I got enough, I got onto the scale. I did it. And I was like, okay, I will make this happen. And I had a goal of skydiving in our Vegas convention in August. And I had to be under 220 pounds. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I am not a small lady. Like, I am over 6 feet tall. So getting down to 220 that's like pretty fit I'm about that right now. Right. Like, it was crazy where I transitioned, but I started doing a program called 75 Hard. Andy Frisella started that, and he's one of my business coaches. And it's a really incredible program. It's 2 workouts a day. One has to be outdoors. And I live in northern Alberta where, my first 75 Hard, I started in February, and it was minus 40, like really, really, really cold. So that was interesting. That builds a lot of mental toughness for sure. But then you do 10 pages of a good book. So like a personal development book. You do a progress picture, no alcohol, no cheat meals, right? 75 days straight, and you are focused. And so I completed that program. And by the summer, I had gotten myself down to 227. So I missed the Vegas trip by like 7 pounds. And I was so mad. But you know what? They had fun, and I kept doing what I was doing. And by the end of 2018, I got down to 202 pounds.
Congratulations.
I quadrupled the size of my company. I doubled my income, and I lost 100 pounds. I was like, wow, okay, that was a good year,
Yes.
So it's been uphill since then. Like, I've had some challenges, obviously, in my business and my personal life and stuff. But overall, my business is thriving. We're, doing good things. And I started a podcast. I wrote a book. Like, it's been crazy.
That's good. Now that's a lovely success story right there. I love stories like that. And I've noticed in the bio, you stated, I changed my identity to a victor instead of a victim. Give us what is behind that quote?
Well, when I was in the oil sands, I just thought that life was happening, and I didn't know that I was the one leading the ship. Right. I was just doing what I was told to do, like go to site, make all the money. It's going to be awesome. This is what you're supposed to do. And then I just realized that life wasn't for me, and I wasn't happy, like, at all. Like, I was not making friends. I was drinking more than I like to drink. And I was just not happy. And so I started taking ownership of my personal habits and what I was thinking about. I started doing meditation and fixing my habits and tracking my progress, and just really transitioning into a different version of myself that I didn't know existed until then.
Yes.
But I had never known that I was capable of what I've accomplished, right? When I was told to dream big, I was like, I'm going to have a mansion one day. And that was like it. That's as big as I can think. Right. And then it was like, no. Like, if time and money weren't holding you back, what would you do with your life?
Right.
And I just started crying. I was like, I have no idea. I have never been able to dream that big before, and I just think that we go to school and we're told to go to school, get good grades, make a good income, save money until you're 65 and retire with enough money comfortably.
Good old traditional.
The reality is that doesn't actually happen in most Canadian households. because people aren't taught about money, and neither was I. And so when I made that shift into like actually seeing what I was capable of doing for other people, I was just dumbfounded by it. I was like, wow, you are telling me that I can go and save someone $2,500 a month, get them proper insurance protection, help them save for retirement, actually help them get to retirement, and I'm going to get paid to do that? That's
Lovely.
fantastic. Like, that sounds awesome. And as a broker, I don't have to like charge my clients any money. So a traditional industry, either people are going to go to the bank or people are going to go to a financial advisor that they have to pay by the hour.
True.
Right. And
True.
I love that I can sit down with a family and go over everything that they need help with and just go, hey, did you think about this? Or what about this? And do you think that you have enough coverage? Did you know that you had this? And I like problem solving. So it just stuck. And when you take control of your mindset and you stop thinking like a victim, like thinking that things are happening to you, you know, and you're just sitting there going, man, this is happening to me.
Right.
This is awful. Versus going, what can I take out of this experience and learn from it?
Correct.
Right? And I think that's transitioning into the victor, because you're going into that mindset where it doesn't matter what just happened. It's what you give to that matters, like how much energy you give to that. So I don't know. I've had
I agree
a lot
with
of
you
little stories that I could tell, but yeah.
I agree. That's now with that story being said, that is why you found your purpose. And I see you are dedicated to helping others. Even to boil it down, you help others skip steps that you even went through yourself. You prevent that in others. And let's get into your services and your offers, which is worldfinancialgroup.com. And Alaina has 3 key services she offers. Alaina, we're going to go into each 3 of them. The first, I want you to get into the insurance protection and the services you offer for insurance protection.
Well, we can do pretty much any type of insurance, whether it's life insurance, disability insurance, critical illness. We can even partner with companies that do health and dental insurance and travel insurance, pet insurance, like any type of liability insurance. It's pretty incredible because we can actually look at all of the different companies and like put them against each other and go, okay, well, this company's got better features, or this one's cheaper, or this is what you get with this one, right? So you can really have them competing for that client's business. So I really like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of clients that are, just going to what they see on a commercial, we're looking at the games. Mostly we see State Farm or Liberty or Progressive. They're not aware of all the other options that are available. So that is a plus. That there's more options that are available for the same services you need for different price ranges. But where you don't know that, you're just going to go with, that one that they're sticking to you. Now, I do see you have the retirement income strategies, which is very important. A lot of people are not aware or talking about retirement income strategies, especially entrepreneurs and small business owners. It's rarely spoke on in the corporations or at the regular workforces, but this is a topic that needs to be spoken amongst entrepreneurs. Could you let us know about the retirement income strategies?
Yeah, definitely. There are different strategies for every single person, honestly. And we aren't only in Canada, we're in US as well. We're in Puerto Rico, right? We're getting out there and we're just teaching people the stuff that they need to know, like the stuff that we should have learned in school. How to save for retirement, how much money we need for retirement, how compound interest works, like little tiny things, like learning about how compound interest works, like the rule of 72. You just take your interest rate, divide it by 72, and it gives you the number of years your money's going to take to double. So for instance, I just sat down with a client the other day and she had less than 1% return on her investments. Okay. So that means that her money's going to take over 72 years to double one time. Right. Which is awful.
Right.
So
right.
If you teach someone how to get their money working harder for them, they're going to be happy and I'm going to be happy. Right. And then I just ask for referrals. Like if I do good work, send me some people, like educate and teach people what you learned,
Correct. And everyone needs it. And that is a good thing that you mentioned. Even though she is in Canada and I'm venturing off, again, she's available across the U.S. In there. So there's no limits. She is available. There's no limitations. If you're in the U.S., she still can assist you. She also assists with business strategies. So if you're an entrepreneur or established business and need some better strategies, could you let them know about the business strategies you offer?
So our company is looking for some good people as well, all across Canada, US, and hopefully one day, absolutely worldwide, right? We just haven't expanded that far yet. But our company is the absolute best business model I've ever seen in my entire life. It allows us to build a company within a company, and it takes away the limitations where you can't, like you hit those glass ceilings in those corporate worlds where, like, for instance, when I was in the oil sands, if I wanted my CEO's job, he would either have to die or retire, or like get fired. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not fair, So when I met World Financial Group, I was like, wow, okay, let's figure out the best way forward with this. And they allow you to, have the corporate side of things where the back office is running itself, the compliance department, the licensing stuff, all of that's done. The payroll, et cetera. They do all of that for us. And then we are the salesmen that are going out and actually doing the work, right? So they're the back office support. And then we're the salesmen out front, but we have the opportunity to also grow our own company as big as we want it, right? The faster we can grow it, the better. And it's just helping people get a license, because obviously it's a highly regulated industry. But it's a lot of hard work as well. And so it takes a lot of training. It's constant, like, continued education, learning where the markets are at, learning, what the new insurance products are and stuff like that. And obviously just talking to more people, because if we can teach this younger generation, for instance, how to be wealthy and how to be financially successful, imagine the world that we're creating.
Correct.
Right.
Now, if it was other than a business owner that's listening, if there was just someone who wanted to get into what you're doing, interested in learning on what you're doing, is there a way that they can contact you and learn with the services you're offering, and they can offer themselves and get on board? How could they get on board?
So World Financial Group website, if you just look me up, Alaina Nadig, World Financial Group, my website will pop up right away. And there's a booking link on there where people can book time with me. And my contact information is all on my website too.
Correct. And that's there now. Remember, they offer leading financial services, and they definitely help clients pursue their financial goals. And that starts, if I'm not mistaken, with the Power of Choice brochure. Could you brief us on the Power of Choice brochure?
Yeah, it just gives people a little bit more of an insight as to what we do. And I believe that when people have choices, they can make better decisions. Right. So education is our main focus. So teaching people the stuff that they really can use in their life. So that brochure is on the website. It is free. There's lots of little giveaways on the website. There's some videos on there that you can check out as well. Very good information.
Yes,
and client reviews too, which is great.
Yes. And if you're listening, the website is in the show link, so you can't see her website right in the show link. You could just click the link and go right to her website. Also, she mentioned she has a podcast. If I'm not mistaken, The Pursuit of Relentless. Does that let us know about the podcast, and where can we catch it?
Yeah, it's on all major platforms. So Apple, iTunes, Google, Spotify, all the above. It's that, you're right, called Pursuit of Relentless. And what I do is I interview entrepreneurs and ask about their stories and how they got started in business. And I like to kind of dig into the mindset side of things and the personal development that they had to go through to get to where they're at today. And just giving people nuggets like, hey, if you're starting out in a business, for instance, or you're already established in a business, who can you meet? Who can you network with in your area? Like, what can you learn from these people just by hearing their story? How many downfalls can you avoid in your business if you follow someone else's footsteps who's been successful in it? So
correct.
I started the podcast back in 2019 in November with my story. And honestly, my first episode, I was crying. Like, I was
Aw.
just telling my story because I'm not a
Aw.
podcaster, right? I am now that I've been doing it for a couple of years, but
Correct.
it's nerve wracking in the beginning. So when I first started it, I was like, all right, I'm just going to go do a solo show. And then I just started interviewing people and I fell in love with it. And I was like, wow, people need
That
to meet
is
these people.
lovely.
People need to hear their stories, because I know that when I first started in business, I had zero belief in myself that I'd actually be
Lovely.
a successful entrepreneur. And I was like, okay, here we go. Right. And it took me really digging into the personal development and finding myself and discovering what I was capable of before I could actually like own it and go, okay, well, now what are we creating with this? You
Right.
know?
Right.
So
Good.
it's been a
Now,
fun journey.
Alaina, I gotta ask you, what is some advice you can let someone know that is listening, either starting a business or either at home with the idea, they're looking at a website and thinking, I'm not ready for this. I have to be at a certain point for this. I even thought that at one point.
Mm-hmm.
What is the advice you have for someone who's feeling that and they're looking for that help, but every time they can go to your website right now and think that, whoa, I have to be at a certain level to even do this?
No, I can help someone who's homeless, and that's the coolest part about our business is you can take someone who has zero financial education, like myself, right? When I was 100 grand in
Right.
debt, I bought a $72,000 truck I couldn't afford and then got laid off. Right.
Right.
I messed it up so that you don't have to,
Correct.
and
I love it.
I can tell you that I don't know everything, but I think it's very important for people to get help. And even if it's not me that can help them, I might be able to point them in the right direction. And I know a lot of people, right? So I have a really great network through RiversideFM, for example, and through World Financial Group. They're just a bunch of people that want to help others. And I love that about our company is everyone who's building it is in it because they love to help people and they want to see the world get better. So,
Lovely,
yeah.
lovely. Yes. Alaina, let know the audience know your social media handles and of course the website.
Yeah, it's at Alaina Nadig or at Pursuit of Relentless on Instagram. And you can find me, Alaina Nadig, on Facebook as well. I did just start my YouTube channel as well, so stay tuned for
Cool.
that. I'll
All
be launching
right.
that
Yes.
in the middle of the month here. I got a couple of my podcasts all done up, so that's exciting.
That's good.
And
Good.
yeah, the website, you can go and literally just search Alaina Nadig WFG
Okay.
or World Financial Group, and it'll come up with my website because, yeah, it's
Yes.
like World Financial Group
Alaina,
agent.
the
Yeah,
money
it's a lot.
lady. You guys got to contact her. Check out her website. It's very professional and detailed. So it's just, don't be afraid. You definitely cannot be afraid to take that first step and reach out for help. And like she said, getting help doesn't always mean a bad thing. I know we're trained in our head that getting help means bad. It doesn't. Getting help is
Mm-mm.
positive. It
Yeah,
is. Yes.
you can learn so much from people.
Yes, you can.
I
Now,
love to say
Alaina.
you never know the power
Mhm.
of one conversation.
You never know. No, you don't. Or who's listening and needs that
Yeah,
help and just didn't have that outlet or the resource and didn't know, like, wow, I didn't even know that I can get that help and
yeah,
not have to be at this certain point in life. Yes, you
exactly.
can. Yes. All
That's why I
right.
love
So
it.
yes, before you get out of here, we're going to let the audience get to know you personally with this or that. And I give you options of either this or that, it's trendy options, and you let me know which will be your preference. And then
Okay,
last is we're going to see how very, very Vegas you are since you're out there in Canada. And I'll take it light on you, okay?
deal.
Sure, right. So this or that. So for this or that, Alaina Nadig, if you had a choice, I don't know if you guys have either out there in Canada, but if you had a choice to choose to live in either earthquakes or tornadoes, which would you choose?
I would choose tornadoes because at least you can go underground.
Serious? I grew up in earthquakes. I would take the earthquake. I've never been in a tornado. I'm
Yeah,
scared to death of them.
I don't know. It would be very different. Because, like, okay, so I own a house in a tsunami zone. So do I want an earthquake to happen? No, not at all.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha. Wow. Okay. All
Yep.
right. So yeah, and I didn't think that because underground earthquake, you might get stuck underground for a while until you get saved. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So the next one, pizza. So this one on the pizza night, are you of a thin crust or a pan normal crust person?
I like the thin crust because I'm
Yes.
gluten intolerant.
Yes.
So
I
like,
love thin. Do you like thin and crispy?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
yes. All right. All right. So that's something in common we have. So our next one, so this next one now, if you had a choice, um, if someone just came at you and said, you know what, I want to give you a company, and all I need you to do is run it, and you're going to have full ownership of it, but you have to pick one, brick and mortar or virtual. What would you do considering right now?
Oh, that's tough. I love that I have a hybrid model. I think I would do in person. I would do brick and
Yeah.
mortar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Because
Yes.
I think you can build stronger relationships with brick and mortar.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, love it. And then also, I feel like that's the opening because I can recall times I went to places and stores just to go to see the people.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even want to get nothing. You can't do that virtually.
Nope. Exactly.
Right. So you're right. Yes. That's good decision. Good decision. All right. So now we're going to see how very, very Vegas you are. Okay. And you should probably get this one. I don't know if you guys have them out there yet. We're going to go to food on this one.
Okay.
Okay. So what famous fast food hamburger chain has palm trees on their cups?
Is it In-N-Out Burger?
Yes.
I
got it. Yes. How did you know that? You just guessed it.
I just remember that that's one of the places everyone wants to go when they're in Vegas.
Cool. What's one of the hot spots out there that we don't have here that you guys eat at?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does he have there?
It's a coffee and sandwich store. It's not even that great, honestly, but it's so popular. I like the little mom and pop shops. I like the good coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, the pastry, right? That's the pastry chef in me. I love the locals.
So where is the steakhouse everyone goes to out there?
Well, in Fort McMurray, there's not very many of them. So the Keg is really great.
Okay.
But other than that,
who has the best Italian food out there?
Probably Shirka's on the Snai.
Okay. All right.
Local restaurant.
These places. Well, okay. I have to come out there and you're going to have to show me around. Yeah.
It's a cool place. It really is.
All right. Well, Alaina, I do appreciate you. And again, could you let the audience know your social media handles where they can contact you?
Yeah, for sure. It's at Alaina Nadig. So ALAINA NADIG. That's me. Or if you want to check out my podcast, it's at Pursuit of Relentless.
All right, audience, and I appreciate you guys joining in. And remember, her website link is also in show notes, and I'm also going to plug in her podcast, so you can directly link to her website or the podcast right into the show notes. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Alaina, I want to thank you for joining me today. Okay,
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you, Vegas, for joining us. See you guys on the next one. Good night.
Bye.